my name is Lindy Sherries and I used to be a Sangoma. In this channel, I talk about everything, guys. Abokorobela, the secrets that we were taught not to share with you guys, how we used to trick you guys, the spirits, how everything works when you go to a Sangoma for consultation, Yamatambo. So whether you believe in God or don't believe in God, please check out this channel so we can talk about it. If you believe in God, let's share the gospel. If you don't believe in God, you can check out the channel too. I want to hear your opinion and I want people to actually share their opinion, not insulting me without saying why. Thank you, and I'll see you on my channel.
Masinya Attorneys Incorporated, a boutique commercial and taxation law firm in Midrand, Johannesburg, South Africa. Strategic lawyers on point with more than 20 years of practice experience. We are professional, capable, and qualified.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me right here in Solomon's Temple. My name is Solomon Izange Shams and I want to welcome each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me. If you've been here before, well, thank you so much for coming back again. If this is your very first time, well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right away. And don't just subscribe, but also click on the notification button. Now, just so when you click on the notification button, you can get notified anytime we come in live and anytime we upload any sort of new video. So thank you. How are you doing today? That's the big question. I hope you're doing well, Christine. Thank you, all the Bereans that are here. Thank you, Salomon. Innocent, it's good to have you here. Alice, awesome to have you here. Innocent from Malawi, awesome. Bongani, Nukolus, always the first, awesome. All the Bereans are trooping in. It's awesome to have you guys here. Awesome, awesome. So briefly and quickly, I want to talk about, when we feel like not forgiving God, right? Because there are times that we feel like certain events might happen in our lives and we feel like, there's just no way I can forgive God this. Maybe that is coming from, a place of like, look, this is just too much for me to handle. Have you ever felt like not forgiving God? Have you ever felt like, look, this one, I'm not going to forgive God at all? I want to tell you, it's okay to feel that way. It's okay. God is not going to be offended. It's not a sin for you to feel that way. You're just trying to, sort of like push your emotions out, how you feel. And God wants to hear how we feel. When you lose a family, because a lot of people will actually think it's a sin to do that. Do you think it's wrong for you to tell God that you're not going to forgive him? Do you think it's wrong for you to tell God how you feel? Is it wrong? Is it a sin? Why is it a sin if it's a sin? Life brings a whole lot as we journey through it. Life hits us with calamities, losses, pain, all sort of things. How we handle it is very important for us as Christians. Now, being a Christian does not mean you're going to be exempted from pain. Does not mean you have immunity to physical pain. Spiritual pain, you have immunity to it. But physical pain, because you're still in this body and you're still in the world, you're going to face a lot of, physical pain. How are you going to handle it? Maybe from betrayal, from people that you know, people that you love, from an accident, from a loss, from your business, from your job. How are you going to handle it? Will you forgive God? And I want to zoom into the issue of a very popular Nigerian actress. Her name is Tonto Dikeh. So this is Tonto Dikeh. This is what she wrote on her Instagram page. This is her just when she was going to bury her mother, stepmother. She said, "Farewell, Mama. This one, I can't forgive God. When you read something like this, what do you hear? She's a very popular actress, presenter, and influencer, celebrity, one of the top celebrities, female celebrities in Nigeria. And she herself, her life has been full of scandals and dramas and pains or whatever. But, a lot of people love her and follow her. But here she's saying, farewell, mama. This one, I can't forgive God. So it seems like she's had marriages or relationships that became public and broken. Her relationships difficult to work out. She has a child. The husband, the father isn't there. Now she's venting how she feels. Farewell, mama. This one, I can't forgive God. So it means that she hasn't just faced one sort of calamity in her life. She hasn't just faced two calamities in her life. She's faced so many calamities. And this one, she's saying, this one, this one, mba. This one, kai. Nia, I cannot forgive God. When you hear something like this, it's like, no, keep quiet. Tonto, you cannot say something like this. You cannot talk to God like this. Or do you say, Tonto, I feel your pain. I understand what you're going through. This is her here with her mother way before she passed away. You could see, obviously, she seems to be a very affectionate person. There's a video also with her and her father. And same, they had a great relationship. Same, her mother meant so much to her. And now the mother has passed away. Maybe she was still shocked. This is the mother, obviously, she's lived a long life. She was 73. This is her in front of the mother's big banner or photograph at the burial. How do we feel? And I have so many questions, and some of the questions include, is there a right way to talk to God? Is there a wrong way to talk to God? Is there a right way to show our frustration with God? Is there a right way to show our frustration with God? Is there a right way to process our pain of losing a loved one, or is there a wrong way of processing our pain? Is telling God how I feel a sin or not? Would God be offended? Would God say, well, because you spoke to me that way, you disrespected me? Does God understand when we lose a loved one? Does he understand the physical pain, the emotional pain? Does he? Because a lot of people face a lot of questions. And in different families or different ways that people were brought up within the Christian faith, they will prescribe to you how to mourn your loved one when they passed away. Someone would expect you to cry. Someone would expect you to feel down and down and down. But some people don't feel that way. But here she's saying, I cannot forgive God. And when I hear something like that, I hear pain speaking. It isn't her speaking, it's the pain that is speaking. And sometimes you and I will go through life and we're going to lose loved one. We're going to face certain one or two calamities. What are we going to say? How are we going to process it? We might not process it the right way, but are we processing it? At the end of it, we know that God is still God. Even though I lost my mother, even though I lost my father, even though I lost my job, even though I lost my money, my business, even though I lost that relationship, I lost my marriage, God is still God. I feel the pain. I am not okay, but God is still God. I don't feel okay, God. I'm frustrated, but you are still God. Because sometimes we tend to borrow how to process our loss. We tend to borrow it from other cultures, or we borrow it from popular media, or borrow it from other people. But what is the right biblical way to do that? We cannot all do that the same. Some of us are very emotional. Some of us are not really emotional. Some of us process pain differently from others, and it's fine. Very, very fine. There's a very relevant scripture here in the book of John 16:22. It says, "So with you, now is your time of grief, but I will see you again, and you will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy." Wow. Talked about grief. Now is your time of grief. So when you're going through grief, well, it's your time of grief. But it says, "I will see you again, and you will rejoice, and no one can take away your joy." No death can take away your joy. No human being can take away your joy. No politician can take away your joy. Nobody can take away your joy. Not happiness. Happiness is something that you can control. Joy, you cannot control it because it comes from the Lord. Happiness is something that money can give you. Money cannot give you joy. Happiness is something that marriage can give you, relationship can give you, sex can give you, but joy is too much to come from sex. It's too much to come from a marriage. It's too much to come from a relationship. But we have to, when we are not okay with God about certain things, we tell him. He understands. That's the best way to actually know God better. Tell him how you feel. He's God. He will reveal himself. Don't walk away from him. Be there and tell him how you feel. And demand an answer. Whether he gives you the answer today, or next week, or next month, or a year later, demand for an answer. It is important for us to do that. It is important. Jabalile says, God remains God, irrespective of the pain. He is still God. Indeed. This life, every one of us, we're going to pass through it, and we're going to pass away, and we're going to go before God. And how are we living our lives? That's the big question. God will do what he please. He is in charge. Sometimes it's the worst that turns us to him and let us acknowledge that we are only human, no matter how our stature in life. Exactly. Bongani says, if you are a born-again Christian, don't let your mouth leave no room for doubt to God, no matter how hurt you are. Sometimes we have to be careful also what we say, because we don't want to believe what we say sometimes. In the middle of pain, we may say something that is not right, and we begin to believe it. But we just have to acknowledge that God, in spite of everything, you are still God anyway. You are no respecter of persons. You know the end from the beginning. You are involved in all things. You are the creator of all human beings. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Shalom.